Dau cuvântul domnului Raffel Volker, președinte ACUE și CEO E.ON Romania. Bună ziua, bine ați venit la noi!
Mulțumesc!
Știu că știți românește, dar și aș vrea să vă pun întrebările în limba română, înțeleg că o să vorbiți în engleză. Ați avut probleme mari cu schema de plafonare. Ce puteți să ne spuneți despre situația furnizorilor de energie acum, după 2 ani de plafonare a prețurilor la energie? Ce puteți spune despre încasările pe care le-ați luat de la autorități? Cum vedeți situația acum, după 2 ani?
Yeah, thank you. So I think there are 3 points to be mentioned. First of all, Mr. Pascu just mentioned also our company about facts which are from last decade. So that was things a long time ago and long time before I arrived. We have proven in the energy crisis that we have played fair all the time. We have proven that we are winning in a fair competition. We proved that we have the best customer services currently, functioning application, which is not everybody's case, and so on and so forth. And we also proved that we are investing heavily in distribution grids. So now there are 3 points which I would like to mention, but before that one, I think also it is the task now of the Competition Council, of course, to look very consistently what happened in energy crisis and also proactively how we come to a free liquid market right now. Because here I think is still a weak point. But from the 3 points, let me start first with the reimbursements. According to a study of AFER, the state has had an additional income from energy crisis in 2022 from 46 billion lei through extra income of TVA, of dividends, of overtaxation, and so on and so forth. 46 billion lei. In 2023, another extra income of 21 billion lei. So for these 2 years, we talk in total about 67 billion lei. The total amount which has been reimbursed to the supplier, because all these 67 billion lei, almost all of it has been paid by partially our customers or by us. So there's a reimbursement scheme through which 25 billion lei has been reimbursed. 3 billion are still open. And now is coming the moment where some of the dividends are paid by some big players in the markets. And of course, it is absolutely my expectation that now, after that money arrived, these late payments from the state are finally settled. Because what sign is it for Romania and for investors that want to come to Romania if the law is not respected? So we are in the happy situation that the amounts, the due amounts, each month are falling at this moment. So the burden for the state budget is far smaller than it was anticipated when the budget was done. So therefore, this message, I think, has been understood by the government, and also Mr. Minister Burduja was recently very strong, choosing very strong words in this one. This must be settled absolutely right now. And also the very CEO of E.ON, Mr. Birnbaum, Dr. Birnbaum, recently said in a press conference in the context of Hidroelectrica conference that the current situation is unacceptable. And I'm not choosing another word, first because he's my boss, and you never contradict without reasoning your boss, but also he's right. So if now I'm asked, and I'm very often asked by investors that want to come to Romania and want to re-industrialize Romania, that want to build factories in Romania, of course they ask me, what is the situation in Romania? And of course I'm telling about the huge perspective this country has. Geopolitically, geographically, it's the energy hub of the region. It has everything it needs. It has, as we heard today, nuclear, gas, hydro, everything you need, renewables. So, I think...
Avem de toate, dar mai puțin stabilitate și predictibilitate.
This one also was mentioned in that same press conference last week. Yeah. So, but I think also in a good cooperation, we somehow managed to overcome the crisis, but now it also must be closed. So this is about reimbursements. Second topic then is about open market. And I still remember absolutely well the situation in autumn 2022, when the whole wholesale market in Romania was completely blocked. no one could buy anything anymore. There was no offers, there was just a complete blockage. So in November, no industrial player was knowing the energy price in January. How do you want to plan your production if you do not know your production cost? How do you want to hire or not to hire persons? How do you want to invest if you are not knowing anything about the main component of your production? So therefore, we have to avoid this situation to repeat. And after these elections, after 9th of June, we immediately have to tackle that topic, because also, as it was mentioned, the government has chosen to go to an open market again after March next year, in order still to have protection for this winter, which is okay, and then afterwards to go to a free market, but this must be a well-prepared market. A market must be well prepared, and we cannot just go to anarchy. You need an open market, but not anarchy, and therefore I think here's something to be done. But now let's come to the third topic, which is now really very much to my heart, because in Romania we are talking about regulatory framework for the next 5 years, about the framework whether to invest or not. And here let me quote what happened on the Hidroelectrica event last week. They published a study, Europe-wide study, and you know Hidroelectrica is a European representation of all players, producers, distributors, and so on and so forth, of electricity industry in Europe. And the result mainly has been that today, EU sends 450 billion euro each year outside Europe for buying fossil energy. 450 billion euro each year sent to other countries. And they have also shown that we have a good electrification strategy. This amount can be reduced to 150. It can be cut by 2/3 if we have a good electrification strategy. 300 billion euro less to be sent out of Europe each year. This is a potential we have to grasp. And this goes through electrification, through reindustrialization of Europe. And also the same study has shown that for this you need to invest also in production, of course, but also, because here we have the bottleneck today, into distribution grids. This is currently the bottleneck, not only in Romania, all over Europe. And now here we have a misunderstanding, I fear, about affordability and chances. When do we have to do it? We have to do it right now. Today we have to start. We are rather in delay. Romania added last year and this year 3,000 megawatt of PV and wind to the distribution grids. In a country that has a system of a total consumption of up to 10,000 megawatts, or in some weekends below 3,000 megawatts, as we have recently seen. So imagine a country having 3,000 megawatts PV and having a total load of below 3,000. You are really understanding immediately that we are coming to a tipping point where this must be better handled. It means digitization in order to handle data, in order to know what happens. It means a better flexibilization. It means having a stimulation for prosumers to use their power, not only to throw it to the grid, but also to use it themselves as much as they can. So here are many things to be done. And we have to approach it now. And nothing works without the distribution grids, because everything is happening now there. All these PVs and winds are connected to distribution grids. So we are currently discussing with ANRE about the regulatory framework. And I think it is anyway clear that if the electricity price is roughly, let's say, 1 lei, and if we are talking about to add to this one 3 banuts or 5 banuts for distribution grids. And in the same time, we managed also through an ordinance of the government to reduce already the price for electricity by 5 bani, because all these renewables help to reduce prices of electricity. So there is a room. We are not talking about the topic of affordability, but we are talking about the fact whether now this whole sector, and now I'm talking in my new role of president of ACUE, the whole sector, all distributors, whether they switch to maximum speed of investment or not. Mr. Scholz has been here early April, and he was telling in an AHK event, It was a big strategic mistake of Germany not to have invested enough and early enough in distribution grids. Now we are remedying it. Do not take the same mistake. The Secretary General of OECD has been here because Romania now wants to join that club, and I very much wish that to happen. And he also was saying in his set of recommendations, you have to invest into distribution grids. Kadri Simpson, EU Commissioner, has been recently here, and she was saying, do not forget to invest into distribution grids. IEA has been here, said the same. IFC.
Deci trebuie să investim în distribuție.
EIB, yes. Now the question is when this message arrives. So what happened now is currently we are having a buffer year in regulation, and now we are talking about the next 5 years of regulation. I understand it is Andres' task to challenge us. So they have proposed a methodology which in each category is just proposing a worsening to trigger us to argue why we need instead an improving. But the current set of methodology at the table is a worsening of just each category. So if this were to happen, but it challenges us, and I have to confess that when we have these very, let's say, intense discussions with ANRE, sometimes I realize they have also a valid point. It's not that we are perfect, and that's not the case. Everybody still has to do also a little bit of homework. But if this set of methodology would come, it would put an end of the current upscaling of investments, and in this buffer year, I think everybody is having just a waiting approach and is not yet investing at maximum speed. But we need to go to maximum speed. Everybody says, all these studies, you have to double the investments per year in distribution. This is what we are preparing, but you cannot propose the former WACC, which is one of the criteria for an investor, was 6 point something for normal investments, 7 point something for grid extensions, 8 point something for co-investment in EU funds, and all this has been now replaced in a proposal by 6 point something for everything. IT investment shall not be recognized as CAPEX anymore. Buildings investment shall not be recognized as CAPEX anymore. Cars shall not be recognized as CAPEX anymore as investment. But in the same time, of course, I need special cars with these PRB, it's called in Romanian. I even don't know the English word at this moment. So special cars and so on, all that is needed for a functioning system. So affordability is given. Everybody is clear that now this investment phase must switch to maximum speed, and now this one must happen. Thank you.